and today we are going to be doing our top 10 Switch games of all time to, kind of send off the Switch, because Switch 2 is coming out pretty soon. As we move into the next generation of Nintendo, let's take a look at some of the best games on Switch. Hello and welcome to the Nerdiest podcast, the show where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm your host with the most, who's always sleep deprived, Mr. Nick Barrett, and Jackson's not back yet. He's still on his honeymoon as we speak. By the time this episode comes out, he'll be back, but he wasn't back in time to record. And I want to give him time. You only get married once, hopefully. And you got to go on your honeymoon, enjoy, move in his new apartment, get everything set up. So while he's gone, I brought in some friends, and today we are going to be doing our top 10 Switch games of all time to, kind of send off the Switch, because Switch 2 is coming out pretty soon. As we move into the next generation of Nintendo, let's take a look at some of the best games on Switch. So today, I am joined by none other than Colin with no I, founding member of the podcast, as well as my friends Alex and Melina. And for you Eagle Eye viewers, those of you who are really in the loop, you'll notice that this is really just an episode of the Joystick Drift podcast, but on the Nerdiest podcast. Got a little getting the gang back together. So, with that being said, I'm going to pass over the mic to Alex. How are you doing? Who are you? What's up? What's popping?
So I am good, and I'm actually also known as the Great Geek because I also run my own channel where I give some of the biggest Persona Reddit hot takes, which scored me over 500,000 views on 2 shorts combined.
That's good. I wish my shorts could do that good. They sure don't.
And it's thanks to Nick's advice on just get hate comments.
It's true. All engagement is engagement. So you can leave a bad comment if you want, but I don't know, it still feeds the algorithm for me.
And all I did was just give base takes, okay? That's all I did.
All he said was you shouldn't date the child. That's, a pretty good place to start. Don't do that. That's bad.
And
Are we talking? Hold on. Are we talking about Persona here?
Yeah, we're talking about Persona 5.
Aren't they all children?
Well, okay.
To be more specific, in Persona 5 Royal, I said do not date Futaba unless you want to end up behind bars. And in Persona 4 Golden, do not date Ayane unless you want to end up behind bars.
Again,
I can't speak for Persona 4. I haven't played it yet.
For Futaba, it's more of a brother-sister relationship between her and Joker.
Yeah.
And Ayane, her design is just not good. It's really jailbait right there.
Colin is right. They are technically all children because they're all in high school. Maybe one day, well, I don't know. Maybe we're never getting Persona 6. Anyway,
yeah.
I'll take the mic, pass it over. Melina, how you doing? Who are you? What's popping? Gamer.
I'm good. My name's Melina. I'm doing good. I don't run any channel on YouTube. Like Nick was saying before, I did do Joystick Drift podcast with everybody. Other than that, I haven't really done much more than that. I've just been living life, and yeah, hopefully I'll get back into the scene once I move, but
That's fair. All right. Mr. Founding co-host, Colin with no I, how you been? It's been a hot minute since you've been on a full episode. I think almost 3 years since you've been on a full episode. That's crazy. How you been? What you been up to?
So I've been pretty good. A lot of what I've been doing is focusing on getting my animation degree. So I can say officially now that I'm doing 3D animation. It's fun.
woo!
Nice.
I know a lot of people don't like 3D animation, but to that I say you're wrong. So yeah, but yeah, I've just kind of been doing my own thing, just focusing on school, and yeah, I also don't have any channels. Maybe one day. But,
Maybe one day.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, since there's 4 of us here today, and I just want to note this is the largest episode of the podcast. We have 4 people on, and in the 5 years, almost 6 we've been doing this, we've never had 4 people, which is incredible. But that also means that in a top 10, we got 40 games to get through. So I think we should just go ahead and jump right into it. But before that, do my obligatory plug. You can buy merch on the nerdiestpodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram. Do all the stuff and things. Jackson usually does the plugs. That's why I'm not super good at it. He also does the outro, so we'll see how I land this plane later. But you got to stick around for that. So, in typical...
Hold on. I have a question.
Okay.
Nick, how are you doing?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot about myself. I'm doing good. Just working on videos, trying to find time to play games. I'd like to finish Persona 3 Reload since I've been trying to play that since February of last year. So trying to finish that, getting ready for Switch 2. Other than that, I mean, it's just, I've definitely been sleep deprived, I'll tell you that. I was at Jackson's wedding last week, which was, for those who don't know, well, I guess you wouldn't know because you weren't there. It was a good wedding, great time. Super incredible ceremony, super great. I'm sure he'll tell us all about it when he comes back. But from my perspective, my vantage point, it was a great wedding. Super fun, super chill, super happy for him. And yeah, I'm sure we'll get all the scoops, all the deets when he comes back. But now that you're host with the most, who's always sleep deprived, now that we've actually gotten through the weekly check-in, I think it's time to get some games. So I'm thinking we're going to start with Melina, and then we'll go Alex, Colin, and me, because that's the little square that's on my screen right now. So, Melina, kick it off. Number 10, what's at the bottom of your list?
Oh gosh, nobody hate me, please. At number 10, I have Animal Crossing New Horizons.
That's real. That's a good spot for it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a cozy game. So it's not like super action packed. I haven't played it in a while. It's just something I go back to when I want something to just wind down, relax, and de-stress.
That's fair. That's fair. Alex, number 10. What do you got?
So for number 10, I got Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet.
Okay.
And a big reason is because I just really like Sword Art Online. It's one of my top 5 anime of all time. And I like the story and how it just gives you an alternate GGO route in the anime with your own character.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Also, I forgot to clarify this before we started the list. What I told everyone when we were putting these notes together was that in top 10 Switch games, I didn't want to, force everyone to do 10, Switch exclusive games. So I changed it up and I said you can have up to 5 Switch non-exclusive games. So like third-party games, stuff that you played on Switch, but it's not necessarily a Nintendo game. So that way the list could be split half and half. I only have 3. I don't know what everyone else has, but just clarifying that because I know someone is going to be like, actually, that's not a Nintendo first-party game. So just getting that out there, it's fine. You gotta branch out. There's a lot of games on Switch. There's like some insane number of games on Nintendo Switch. I'm actually going to look it up right now. But while I do that, Colin, number 10, what you got?
So people are going to get a little mad at me for this. So my number 10 spot is Breath of the Wild.
Wow, number 10?
So here's my reasoning as to why I put Breath of the Wild at number 10. I think Breath of the Wild, and I'll also give a clarification. Tears of the Kingdom is not on this list. So Breath of the Wild, I think, was a great game. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it was still one of my favorite games that I played on the Switch. But the issue is after a while, I just never wanted to go back to it. And I haven't touched Breath of the Wild in like 5 to 10 years. 10 years? How long has it been out?
Since 2017.
It's been out for 8 years. Right?
Wow, I'm that old.
It's been out for 8 years. I haven't
that's crazy.
touched it I haven't touched it in 5 years. Yeah, I haven't touched Breath of the Wild in 5 years.
Yikes! I am old.
So yeah, like that's the thing I'll say is like, I really enjoyed it. I think it definitely had some replay value, but after a while, it just kind of gets boring. So that was that was kind of one of my bigger hot takes. People are going to flame me for this list. I'll tell you all right
It's
now.
okay. Flaming is good, brings in good engagement in the comments.
There's
Just
gonna
like we said earlier.
There's gonna be one game that comes up at some point near like the middle of the list that everyone's gonna be like, you put that above Breath of the Wild, and I'm like, yeah.
Also,
Guys, it's our personal list, please.
yeah, this is
Have
all
mercy on
subjective.
us.
We're not saying these are the
Yeah.
top 10 greatest
Yeah.
Switch games. These are our personal favorites.
Exactly.
Also, there are, between 2017 and 2025, currently over 12,488 games on the Nintendo Switch.
That's
a lot.
crazy.
Yikes!
There's a lot of them.
Wow.
So, my number 10 is not a Nintendo first-party game, because I was really like thinking, like, what could I put on my list that would, what's like one of my favorite Switch games that I'm always going back to, and I was like pulling out my Switch, going through my games, and what I found was there was one game that I was like, yes, this has to have a place on the list, but I can't justify putting it any higher than 10, and that is Monopoly for Nintendo Switch. It is one of the worst games I've ever played. The online sucks. The AI cheats. It's a very unfair game. However, despite all of those flaws, it is still an incredible experience because it's unparalleled the way like Jackson and I have been able to have these deep, meaningful conversations about life, and in the background is just this guy who's like, you had better plans for your money. I'm like, yeah, I did. The AI is robbing me blind, and I'm going past go and landing on income tax every single time because it's rigged, all right, dog? But it's good. But I can't justify putting it any higher than 10. So that's my number 10. Monopoly for Nintendo Switch.
I want the whole audience to know that Nick tried so hard to get me to buy Monopoly for the Nintendo Switch.
No
Did
way.
he succeed?
Years ago, he was trying so hard to get me to buy Monopoly. He's like, it's $5. It's $5. Just buy it. Just buy it, please. And I'm like, Nick, I'm not spending $5 on Monopoly for the Nintendo Switch. Like, and then he was like, but it's so fun. The AI is awful. It robs you every single time. It's so bad. I'm like, why would I want to buy that?
Oh
Listen.
my gosh.
It's good. I'll take it.
I just want to point out that your number 10 is the same as when I put a mobile game in my top 10 favorite video games.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little wacky, but you're like, you know what? No, it technically counts. Like, it makes the list. It's a valid entry. So yeah, that's my number 10. Melina, kick it off. Number 9, what you got?
Number 9, I have Luigi's Mansion 3.
It's a good game.
I never played the first one because I did not have a GameCube. But I watched a playthrough of it, and I was like, I really like this game. And then when they came out with the second one, and it was for the 3DS, I think, Dark Moon, I was like, oh my gosh, I can now play like a Luigi's Mansion game. I got it, and I was like, I played through it. I absolutely loved it. And I was so excited when they came out with the third one, and I really absolutely loved it. I haven't played it in a while, to be honest, but I really do enjoy it.
That's good. I also played Dark Moon on 3DS. That's what like got me into it, and I love that game. And then I played 3, and I was like, dang, this is good. I'm really hoping they do a 4, which I imagine they will because 3 sold incredibly well on Switch. And it's one of the higher rated games, so I'm like, you know what? Luigi's Mansion 4, Switch 2, it's coming. Yeah. What can I say?
They expanded on the world really well.
Yeah.
Nick, I'm trying to remember, didn't we go to get Luigi's Mansion 3 like together?
We did, because it came out on Halloween like years ago.
And
back
then we
in
went to that really
2019.
bad. We went to that really bad Halloween party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that. And then I went home and I played Luigi's Mansion. And I was like, yeah, this
Me
is
too.
all I wanted
Me
to
too.
do tonight. So, yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 is good. Did not make my list, but it is good. So,
Alex.
Alex, number 9.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Wow, number 9?
Yeah. I
All right.
haven't touched it in a while. I have a lot of fun with it, but to me, I already beat the Grand Prix, all speeds. But to me, the game is only worth playing with friends. Not online randoms,
Valid.
not solo. Because solo, it just gets boring. It's just, everything's predictable.
No, let him cook. He's kind of spitting facts.
He's
'Cause-
got points.
Listen, I play Mario Kart Online. I always play regional. I can't do worldwide. The Japanese players are too good. I can't. They're like, I'll blink and they finish the whole thing. And I'm like, nope, I can't.
And also, the connection to the NSO server is just bad.
Yeah.
I always get
that's-
kicked out of races, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I appreciate them for adding, 48 more tracks in the booster course? Like, that was a big move, which makes it hard to go to Mario Kart World. But that's a different conversation for a different time. I will withhold my thoughts on that for now. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. Colin, number 9.
So I actually have. I don't know if it's a controversial pick. I have Smash Ultimate.
At 9?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Smash Ultimate is a very similar reason why Alex put Mario Kart 8. It was really fun when it came out, and I had a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of friends who play competitively, and they have the same opinion where they're like, Smash Ultimate is fun casual. If you're playing anything else, it's awful. It sucks. But yeah, I enjoy Smash Ultimate whenever I play with friends and stuff like that. But aside from that, I just won't play it often. So I never really feel the motivation to play the game. So that's why I put it there. But I'll go back to it
will
more than I'll go back to Breath of the Wild. Anyway.
I would say I did like Smash Ultimate, but it's not even on my list. But I didn't really like the campaign of it. I thought Brawl was better.
Yeah.
I think that's a common opinion.
Yeah.
Brawl is just goated.
So, I put Smash on my list, but it's not here. So I'll withhold my thoughts for now. But I do agree. I think much like Mario Kart, Smash is a lot more fun casually. And I think what hurts Smash Online is, unlike Wii U, they don't have a for fun and for glory. And that frustrates me because some nights I just want to get on and do randoms with people and just have fun. But every time I lose, well, that nukes my GSP. And I'm trying to get Pyramithra and Steve and all my mains into Elite Smash, but then I don't want to play because I'm I don't feel like tryharding tonight. I just want to be chill, have fun. So I really hope in the next game they bring that back and have you can just play for fun, or you can, play for points. Here's a question. Do you think we're getting a new Smash game on Switch too, or are they gonna pull the Mario Kart 8 and do deluxe and bundle everything together and then do more DLC down the line?
I think that we're
seems
getting
more
Smash 6.
Oh.
Smash 6.
I think we're going to get Smash 6.
I have no idea. They actually, I would agree with them because they need a better campaign.
Not even that. A lot of people had a lot of complaints about the roster. And not that there were characters that had wasted slots. No, it's that the roster was just too big.
Yeah.
That was what a lot of people have. A lot of the competitive people have that opinion, is that Smash Ultimate's roster is too big and too bloated, that there's only really a few characters that people are really going to want to play. And so basically what they hope for Smash 6 is that they take that roster, cut it down to half that, and really, really fine-tune a lot of the characters to make them better while still adding a bunch of newcomers. Please, just give us another Sonic character. Can we get Shadow?
It would, if it's gonna be another Sonic a character, it'll be
he stays
Shadow.
assist trophy like Waluigi,
Or
because that's where they
Eggman.
belong.
Wouldn't Eggman be fun?
Nah, I would
That-
say like SBO probably.
Oh,
Well,
dude.
What?
Eggman would go
I would take
crazy
I would
because then
take
you could
Vector.
have like Bowser, King K. Rool, and Eggman and Ganondorf. Like you can get the villain squad going. I see the
Yo.
vision. I see the vision. I personally, not that this is turning into a Smash 6 prediction podcast, but I would love to see like Noah and Mio from Xenoblade 3. Like
Yeah.
more than 2 Xenoblade characters would be nice. Less Fire Emblem characters, please. Or if you're going to do Fire Emblem
please.
characters, do more than just a sword fighter. Because there are a lot of different types of characters in Fire Emblem. That's all I'm saying.
Haven't played a single
True.
Fire Emblem.
Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf. Change it up. He's got a sword. Well, they need to be a sword. Well. Anyway, my number 9 is goated game that has gone so under the radar that I never see anybody play and anybody talk about, and I think honestly doesn't get enough credit for the amount of customization it brought to the table, and I really hope to see this customization utilized in a game upcoming in 2026 because it's kind of the same premise. And there's 2 games from 3DS that I always wanted ported. We got one, which is this game, and the game coming in 2026 is a sequel. It's a new one, which is even better. Which means my number 9 is none other than the hit turn-based RPG, Miitopia. Because let's be real, dude, the customization for Miis that they put in that game, you can make anything. You can. And I'm really hoping that with this new Tomodachi Life game, they bring in that same level of customization because it was so good. And Miitopia as a concept where it's like you get to put all of your friends and family in there, and you can have like Kronk be the, super evil demon lord face stealer guy. Like just the amount of like, it's wacky, but it's also fun. And it was an RPG that was kind of difficult as you got to late game and you had to like actually lock in. And I really appreciated that. I'm not one to usually replay games, but I do want to replay Miitopia at some point because it's just so good. It's everything I've wanted in terms of like a me game that wasn't Tomodachi Life. So Miitopia takes my number 9 spot. Got to have it on the list. I love it. I need more people. I need more people to buy Miitopia so they can do a sequel and do another one. Please. Please. That's all I ask. All right. Melina, hit us with your number 8.
Now, to be fair, I have not finished this game,
Aw.
but I liked it enough to put it on the list. And at first, I even messaged Nick about it, and I was like, this game is slow. I can't get through it. And he's like, yeah, the beginning's really slow, which everybody said this. But once I push past it, I'm still going through it. I'm enjoying it more. But I don't like it as much as the other ones in the franchise.
Ah.
So my number 8 is Mario and Luigi Brothership.
I have not played a Mario and Luigi game ever.
I've only played Superstar Saga.
Okay, not to hijack your number 8. I have complicated feelings about Brothership
I feel like
me
everyone
too.
does.
because it's
Everyone.
like I wanted another Mario and Luigi game, but it just doesn't feel the same. Like it there are certain parts of it where I'm like, yeah, that feels like Mario and Luigi because I played Dream Team on 3DS. I loved it. That's like if we did a top 10 3DS game, that's like number 3 for me. I love Dream Team, but Brothership doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like any of I even started Superstar Saga because I'm like, I want to play another game. Brothership doesn't feel like that, and it's like they tried to go in a different direction, but I don't think it worked.
Yeah.
Which has me upset because now I'm worried they're never gonna make another one ever again because it was like a miracle that we got this one in the first place.
I think they still will. Because I'll say this, Brothership still sold pretty well.
Thank God.
Brothership still did well, but no, that is a very big thing across the board is that this was not like the other Mario and Luigi games, and the stuff that they were trying to do that was different was received like they were like okay, like, but that was kind of like a consensus that I heard. But also I've heard, Nick, did you have issues with Brothership's pacing?
I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
Because
Me neither.
I do have issues with it though.
Okay.
And
so,
like, I really like the concept of going to all these different islands and like exploring the islands and doing the ship stuff. I think that's great. But I also think it slows you down exponentially. Because if I'm like, oh, I want to go somewhere up in this top corner of the map, but I'm all the way down in this bottom corner, you have to wait for the ship to get all the way up there. Like, there's sail time. And I'm like, that feels like it slows me down because I'm used to like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom where it's I'm all the way up here, I want to be all the way down here, and you fast travel and you go. And they added like a little speed up for the ship, but it's not the same. So I do have issues with it, which is partially why I haven't finished it yet.
It's like they brought a mechanic from Wind Waker to this, and I'm like, nobody liked that.
So what's funny is the reason I asked if you had issues with that is because Dream Team, like always is like known for its horrible pacing. Like, so I was wondering, I was like, if you liked the pacing of Brothership, I was like, that's why like that you didn't dislike it was because you liked Dream Team.
I also think I was 11 when Dream Team came out, and I was like, you know what, this is good. I'm having fun, and I think that's another thing is like I don't know, Melina, maybe you can speak to this too. I don't feel that same sense of like fun. Like, I think it's a little too grindy.
Yeah,
I have an issue with basically I don't like the level up system.
I heard there's no roulette.
There's no roulette.
No.
Which is stupid.
I was like, when I leveled up, I was like, wait, what? So there's no roulette. You essentially pick what you want to like add points to. I don't remember. The difficulty, I feel like in some parts it's hand-holding, and then in other parts it doesn't help you at all. So then it becomes difficult, but then it's like, okay, well, you're not giving me at least the proper indication of what to do. So there's like no in between. And then the pacing, which we just discussed. My favorite out of the franchise is Bowser's Inside Story, which I know there's issues with that too, but one of the biggest reasons why I love that game though is the music.
Yeah.
And that final boss theme.
Yeah. No, because like that was when I heard there wasn't any roulette, it was like while I was playing Superstar Saga for the first time, and I was like, oh, that makes me not want to play it because all I'm doing in Superstar Saga is just making Luigi busted. Like Luigi, I think by the end of the game, Luigi had like 150 stash by the end of the game.
Oh my god!
I don't know what
literally,
this
I'm
means.
not kidding.
Stash is luck.
Yeah, so it's like crit rate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Every single attack he was doing was a crit. And but I was also like pumping him full of damage too. So he was just doing a bunch of damage. And like I had Mario just be like a regular guy, but I was like, nah, Luigi is my glass cannon. I'm going to just if I'm fighting a hard boss, I'm going to be like, "All right, get him, Luigi."
You know Luigi can win just by doing absolutely nothing, right?
Nah, he was doing something. He was using 1% of his power.
So that's why Mario and Luigi beat Sephiroth.
My Luigi could have beaten Sephiroth. Like not even Sora could do that. Not even Donald, who knows Zeta Flare, could do that. Anyway.
I didn't think that would bring up that conversation. Okay, so yeah, that's my number 8. Should I say?
I'm Final Fantasy brained. I've been playing Rebirth recently. So.
Oh, that's real. I'm gonna be Final Fantasy brained when it comes to Switch 2, baby.
I am infecting all of you. My mission is closer to completion.
Speaking of infecting us, Alex, what's your number 8?
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
This is me, Alex, putting Smash Bros. In like the bottom 5.
So, a big reason I like Super Smash Bros. The classic mode, you know, it can be fun to try and see like, hey, are you good with this character? Can you score the highest out of all your other characters? And I am always trying to make sure my Cloud or Sephiroth are always in the top, because that's another reason I like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Cloud and his outfits, his classic Final Fantasy VII outfit, and his Advent Children outfit, and his moveset, and Sephiroth. Because Final Fantasy VII.
Dope.
Yeah, that's real.
But
Smash
like
is good.
like Melina said, the campaign just
Yeah, I never finished it. Like, I tried to get into it, but I couldn't do it. Like, World of Light is just not it.
I couldn't
My
understand
dude.
the purpose of it.
My dude, I finished it too quick.
I'm like, nah, dude, this ain't it. I can't.
And it's just more fun with
Like-
friends.
Brawl's campaign had me in my feels. I was crying.
Dude,
And
when
I was,
Son-
and then afterwards I was like, did I just cry in a Brawl game? I was like, what?
Dude, when Sonic showed up, peak. Peak.
Everybody freaked out.
Absolutely peak.
Oh my
Alrighty.
gosh.
Colin, number 8.
All right, so hey, Nick, remember how you put Monopoly?
Yeah.
All right.
No way.
No.
So my number 8 is Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Because that game can make you feel every single human emotion. It can make you feel happiness. It can make you feel sadness. It can make you feel the most infuriating rage of all time.
Dang.
When trust me, if you are playing Ludo, which is sorry if you don't know, and someone sends you back to the beginning of your path for the 4th time,
Have you ever played Me Party?
yes, I have. And if you that is the Switch version of Me Party.
I was about to say, like, I feel like that's the same when you're playing Me Party and trying just to run the board and someone in last place swaps places with you.
Listen, again,
That's
every single
crazy.
human emotion possible can be felt in Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics.
That's
Please.
crazy.
Sounds
Play
like
it.
it sounds like it's a game you shouldn't play if it makes you that into your feels.
No, it's because when you lose, you want to throw your Switch into the wall. But when you
Do it.
win, you're so happy. It's so nice. It's like playing Marvel Rivals, you know? Like when you lose, you want to punch a hole into your monitor. But when you win, you're very happy. You
I know that
You're like,
feeling.
all right, let's queue up again, everybody.
Or you just keep losing 5 games in a row, because that's me and Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about Marvel Rivals later.
Nick.
My number 8 did not get me in the feels as much as, 51 Clubhouse Games. It is a really good game, though, that I think brings it brings people together if you do it right. I think it's one of the, if I had to put together like a list of like the 10 best games on Switch objectively, this would be a lot higher than number 8. But for me, this is one game that was on the Wii U that I really wanted to come to Switch. And when they brought it to Switch, I said, heck yeah, I'm ready, I'm in, I'm locked in. And that would be none other than what I consider to be the best 3D Mario game. That being Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Dude,
Oh.
I want to get
I
that
think
game.
it's goated. It's incredible.
Colin.
I have so much fun with that game.
I'm going
It,
to
like-
change my list real quick.
I've
always wanted to get
I-
that game.
100%ed the game twice, and I've 100%ed Bowser's Fury once. And I've played through it all the way like 6 times. It's incredible.
Wow.
I just have so much fun with that game. I did a full playthrough on stream with my friend Spectral, and we did the co-op. It was incredible. Like, I don't think I've ever laughed that hard at just how insane the game is and how, like, you can throw people off the edge and you can jump on their head and send them falling into a pit, but you get to live. Like, it's just such a fun game, and they clearly had a lot of fun making it, and it was one of the better games on Wii U that I never got to play because I didn't have a Wii U. And now I do, and now I own it on Switch. I wish I had it physically, but I don't. Because when I bought it, we had like a really bad snowstorm here and we couldn't get out of the house and Target was sold out. So even if I could get out of the house, I couldn't go get it. So I bought it digitally. But you know, it is what it is. Great game. If you've never played it, play it online. Well, actually, don't play it online. Play it locally with friends. So if they kill you, you can punch them in the face. And you don't have to worry about like punching them through the screen and damaging your monitor or whatever. Bowser's Fury is also really good. I think that's a little precursor, pre-taste of what the next 3D Mario could look like. You know, a little experimental. It was fun. It was short, but it was also like kind of creative and kind of funky. So I enjoyed it, and that's my number 8.
Nice. I want to get that
Also,
game.
Yes, when I said this is the best 3D Mario game, I do think this is better than Odyssey, and I'll die on that hill. But
That's fair.
that's a conversation for a different time. Moving in,
Did Bro play Galaxy?
I did. Galaxy is good.
Galaxy's
But, like,
great.
I've replayed 3D World 6 times. I've only played Galaxy once.
So,
So
Colin's falling back.
that's all I'm saying.
I want another Galaxy game. Anyways,
Anyway, number 7, Melina, take it away.
this will be quick because this is the same as what was said in number 9. I put Metopia. No, my friend. Yeah. Nick told me to get Metopia, and I did, and I said, "Look, I got Metopia," and then I proceeded to put all of them in my game.
Yep.
Which was hilarity ensued, and I need to go back and play it. Honestly, I was going through my case of games, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to come back and play this game." It was so much fun. So, but yeah, all right, you could take over, Alex.
All right. Isn't it Colin before me, though? I can't remember.
No, it's you
No,
and
no.
then Colin.
Huh. Okay, then. My number 7, surprisingly enough, Pokemon Scarlet.
Ooh. Okay.
So, the bugs, I'm not a fan of. The fact that I can't face the Elite Four more than once, if there is a way, I don't know how to. Like, that did bother me, but I like the open world of the Pokemon world and all the Pokemon that I'm able to catch. It's the only Pokemon game where I have a bunch of level 100s. I'm able to capture and have some of my favorite Pokemon of all time, including Garchomp and Tyranitar. And there's so many like great events for Pokemon that you only see once, and the futuristic. I think I would enjoy the Violet more because of its futuristic theme than Scarlet, but I don't have money for that, and I don't feel like spending money on that.
That's so fair. You know what's exciting? You'll get free 4K and better performance on Switch too.
That's a blessing right there. And one
Shout
thing
out to them for making it free when they could have charged $10 for that and called it a day.
I
They
wish
didn't. Good job, Nintendo.
one major thing I wish for is that there's multiple save files on one account on Switch, because I don't feel like making a new Switch like profile or account just to play a new game, because I'm not losing all my progress.
That's fair. It's very fair. All right, Colin, number 7.
All right. So this has been said before, but it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
You and Alex.
So again, me, Alex, putting Mario Kart.
Except mine's pretty low.
Yeah. So Mario Kart 8 is it's a very, very fun game. It's just, like, if you're ever hanging out with friends, you're like, hey, do you want to play Mario Kart? Everyone is going to say yes. Like, there is never going to be a no to that, unless your friends are lame, and then you're like, okay, get out. So, yeah, the door's right there.
My door is right behind my curtain.
My door's over there. Get out.
Yeah. It's fun. Just whatever you do, don't play Mario Kart. Anyway,
Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Like, Nick, Melina, and I, that was what in college. Those two were our top games to always play, especially during class.
Mm-hmm,
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And
Why pay
again,
attention when you can play games?
Again, y'all, and never forget what happened when we played Mario Kart. No, that was Mario Party.
Wasn't it both?
Well, I forgot about Mario Party.
Oh no, it's all
Oh, I know. I saw the nose.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
Oh my
just
gosh.
one this reminds me. One question: how does everyone feel about Moo Moo Meadows being playable?
Oh, the cow?
Yeah.
Dude, does he cow
Does
playable in Mario Kart World? It's
Okay,
incredible.
okay.
gee.
So I got Nick. Can I tell a story real fast?
Sure.
Okay, so when the Switch 2 Direct was like live, I am driving to class at this point because I had an 8 a.m. And so I'm driving to class. My car is like not working. So I'm driving another car that doesn't have like a hands-free thing. So I'm like driving. I'm like looking over like every time I'm driving. And
What do you mean hands-free thing? Like audio or?
Like no, like something
Like
to
a
put.
phone
So
mount.
Tennessee, yeah, a phone mount, because Tennessee's a hands-free state. And so I'm driving. I'm like turning into campus. I'm like looking, and then I see Moo Moo Cow, and I immediately scream, "Moo Moo Cow! Moo Moo Cow!" And I'm like,
Your mic is
I'm
speaking
actually
in
like
silence.
screaming, like like it was dead silence, and I literally just started screaming, and then literally every single person that I know starts texting me and is like, "Are you watching the direct? Are you watching the direct?" Like they're like, "Look at it. Are you like Moo Moo Cow is in Mario Kart? Moo Moo Cow is in Mario Kart." I'm like, "I know,"
Oh my
but
gosh.
it was so funny because it was just like I start screaming and then my phone starts exploding. And I'm just like, this is how I know I've made a good bit, is that literally everyone is just, that is my personality.
I wish you were recorded so that way we could see it. It would have been more hilarious.
I would have started screaming. Like,
Oh my gosh,
genuinely.
I love
I would
it.
have had an Etika level reaction. Rest in peace.
True. All right. My number 7 is a game that in my overall top 10 is a lot higher, but I don't know. I couldn't justify putting it much higher than this on this list. It's a game that I will always sing the praises of. I can't say it's underrated because I think it's a little too popular to be underrated per se, but it's one that I played on Switch for the first time, even though I could have played it on PC for free. And that is none other than the hit visual novel Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah.
I'll keep it brief because I have like 10 other
Say it.
things that I'm doing.
Say it.
But
Say it.
there's something about this game that like I don't like horror games. I don't like things that are scary. I don't like no, that's not me. And I didn't think I was going to like this game going into it. And I played it on stream. Colin was there. It was a great time. And everything was fine and wacky, and then you get to the end of Act 1, and then that's when it kind of like that's when it gets a little freaky. And we just I don't know, there was something about it when I finished it that I was like, I want to play that again. And I played it again. And I kept noticing all these little small details and how much work and time and effort is, put into this game. And I really love the characters, and I played through all the side stories because I have DDLC Plus, and this is actually the first time I've ever double dipped on a game when I already had it on the console. So like you could say, oh, you bought this game on 3DS, then you bought it on Switch. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I bought the digital on Switch, and then I went and bought the physical on Switch so that I can have the cartridge and the case to be part of my physical collection, and I just kind of vibe with that. So I love DDLC. I'll sing the praises of it all day, but for time reasons, I'll keep it brief. I'll keep it short, and I'll end there.
That
being said,
I got DLC for free.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Nick had to pay twice for the game. I got it for free.
Listen, well, hey, I technically have it 3 times because I got it for free on Steam on my computer and played it a 3rd time.
Yeah.
I got it on
Also-
I got it on my PS5 because it monthly thing.
Oh,
Also,
true.
Discord didn't pick it up, but I did start playing Outside Island.
Yeah, I can see that.
I thought you were just showing the image. I didn't know you were actually
No,
playing
I started
it.
playing it for like 3 seconds, so it didn't get copyright claimed.
Nintendo doesn't care.
Nintendo is the most to care.
Unreasonably so.
But yeah. Nick, at some
Is
point,
it just me or did Colin just get dark and green?
No, it's dark outside. He going to turn on lights.
Well, anyways,
Whoa.
the exposure.
Was in the void.
Let there be light.
Oh no, it looks so bad now. No.
So bad, Colin. Oh, it cleared.
This is why you don't use webcams.
It's because I'm
people.
white. Anyway.
This is why you don't use webcams, people. And that's how I actually started the podcast for Joystick Drift. I used a webcam. But anyway, who's up next?
Me.
Melina. Number 6.
So I actually ended up switching my list right before we started. For number 6, nothing else. But funny enough, speaking of visual novels and horror, I put Spirit Hunter Deathmark. This game is really good. I recommend it if you really like visual horror novels, and if you also like what do I call it? Like
Psychological thriller?
No, myths and legends from Japan. If you're really into all that stuff and love those horror stories from Japan, you will love this game. Yeah. I watched I was gonna buy the game. I will admit I have not played it. I've watched a full playthrough of it though, and I absolutely, you don't understand. I love this game so much. But I'm gonna play it soon, eventually. And there is a sequel to it. There is a sequel to it, and they changed some mechanics which aren't my favorite. But yeah, first one is great. Absolutely great. So
Alrighty. Alex, hit us with your number 6.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a visual novel to add of my own. Because if I did, it would have been Fate Stay Night. But then again, we need to keep it family friendly, and Fate Stay Night is anything but family friendly.
That's real.
So, I'm not reading the visual novel. I'm watching the anime. But for my number 6 is Tears of the Kingdom.
Wow, number 6?
wow.
Yeah.
Mine
Honestly,
wasn't even on the list.
That's true.
Trust me, a big reason it's on there is because I had to find a 5th Nintendo game for a Nintendo Switch.
That,
So it's just a
Um,
filler.
Yes, it's just the filler arc.
Just like how the game was kind of filler.
$70 filler.
So I
Guys,
had
hate
to find
break it to you
something.
all, it was $70 DLC.
I
You
mean,
know?
wow.
Well,
I mean, Alex
like,
never
it
came
wasn't-
off to me as a Zelda person. You're much more into like Final Fantasy and
Yeah, like Zelda's not bad. Breath of the Wild is what got me really into Zelda. But Tears of the Kingdom, I like it more than Scarlet because it's not a buggy mess.
True.
And it's something that like I can actually sit down and play for a while on like Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart 8, where I just like maybe play like a course and then I'm done. And I like adventure.
That's fair. Tears of the Kingdom is good. I haven't gotten to talk about Zelda yet. But don't worry, it's coming.
But that's about it for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't really say much about this.
All right, Colin, number 6.
All right, so my number 6 is I'm gonna get flamed for this one.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna get flamed.
Uh-oh.
So my number 6 is Pokemon Shining Pearl.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, I
So-
played
I
that
like.
Did you ever finish it?
one. No.
I didn't think so.
I played Brilliant Diamond, and I liked it, but in terms of like just how many Pokemon you can get, I like Scarlet, and I still do not like Flint in the Elite Four. He's a
No,
disappointment.
So here is why I enjoyed Shining Pearl. You know, Pokemon is really good when you don't have somebody in your ear saying that it's bad.
So
He's got a point.
true. Very true.
Like, it actually wasn't a bad game at all. Like, everyone was just like, oh, but it's bad because they went chibi with it. They did all of this, yada yada. It literally wasn't that bad. It was not a bad game. Cope.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
There is something I would say, but Nick would kill me. So
Good.
Honestly, now that I think about it, I should probably take Tears of the Kingdom on my list and put Brilliant Diamond on there, because I think I would rather go back to Brilliant Diamond.
Dang.
I'm gonna.
You know what?
I'm
I think
gonna-
I think I'll do that, because I don't think it's fair for me just to.
Wait.
Do
Colin, do the thing
filler.
again.
Oh yeah. So me, Alex.
Yeah,
So-
thank you, Colin. It
Yeah.
gave me a reason just to not have a pointless filler. And also, Gen 4 gave me Garchomp, so
I'm gonna cry. Nick.
Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It'll come full circle at the end. My number 6 is a game that is good. I really enjoyed it. First played it on Switch. This is one of those. Everyone told me it's never coming to Switch. Buy a PlayStation and play it. Get it on PC. It's never coming to Switch. And I said, no, I'm holding out. It's gonna come to Switch. This company likes making money, okay? It's gonna come to Switch eventually. And I felt
Sega.
so vindicated in June of 2022 when we're at the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, and what's the closer but none other than my number 6 Switch game, Persona 5 Royal. Listen, man, the vindication I felt when I saw it on screen, and I was like, I told you it was coming to Switch, and my waiting was justified. And it actually, low-key, runs really good on Switch. Like, I don't feel like it's a inferior version of the game. It runs really well. The story is incredible. I want to go back and New Game Plus it, but at this point, it's probably never gonna happen because I still haven't finished 3 Reload. So, but right now, it'll be interesting to see how this changes once I finish 3, because 3 is like kind of starting to beat out 5, which is crazy because like I love 5, but 3 is really good.
3 is so good.
I'm like,
It
dude,
is.
so good.
I love it.
So we'll see how that changes once I finish it. I don't want to say anything definitively until I finish it, but 5 is great. I love the characters, and I desperately want to replay it. But honestly, once I finish 3, I'll probably go to 4, just so like I can have
You'll
played
love
all
that.
of them, and then I'll go back. But maybe I'll wait because they're talking about that they're remastering or remaking 4, like they did 3. So I'm like, you know what? Well, maybe I'll just wait, and then
We're
I'll do
never
that
getting
instead.
Persona 6, dog.
Dude,
We're
I'll
never
tell
you,
getting
bro.
Persona 6.
When they dropped
You
the
know what
announcement,
this means, though?
What?
This means Nick will finally have an opinion on Teddy, and we can hear about it.
That's true.
That's true.
Here's the thing. When they dropped that announcement of Persona 5 X like getting localized in English, I was like, yeah, we're never getting Persona 6. It's not happening. Because they like switched off to do Metaphor ReFantazio, and then they did Persona 3 Reload, and then they're like, here's the English version of Persona 5 X, and now there's a rumor that they're remaking Persona 4, and I'm like, dude, Persona 6 is not a real
Me,
game.
This is going to be a hot take, and please don't hate me for this, but we should not get Persona 6 until Personas 1 and 2 get remade.
No, I agree.
Maybe
Persona
think-
2 is like literally the most popular Persona game amongst many fans, and Persona 1 is the only Persona game with 2 story routes in one.
No, what I say is I think if Persona 1 and 2 if Persona 1 and 2 get remade, Persona 6 has to deal with a lot of the lore that's in that game or in those games, because there's a lot of lore that they just don't touch ever.
Yeah.
So that's my thought. No, me and my friend Dave talk about that all the time. We're like, dude, we're never getting Persona 6. Like, we're just...
Dude, we're on like 10 years of milking Persona 5. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, Persona 5
That
came
is
out
so-
on the PS3, and we're talking about getting the PS6 in like the next 2 years.
Are y'all
People
ready?
actually remember the
Are y'all
PS3 version
ready?
of Persona 5?
Are y'all ready for like 15 years of them milking Persona 6, though?
Oh,
It's going to
God.
be incredible.
That's if it ever comes out.
Well, okay, I feel like that's dependent on Persona 6 being as popular as 5, though. If it's not, like, if it kind of is just like, it's all right, then they can't milk it for another, like, 10 years.
Hey, they cooked with them with all the like main storyline games.
That's true. They're all good. I'm not saying it'd be bad. I'm just saying in order to milk it for 15 years, well, maybe they'll do it anyway. Atlas likes money. Who's to say? So, we are now in the top 5. Hey, listener,
Woo!
we're halfway through. It's going to be a bit of a longer episode. We got a lot to get through. So if we don't quite hit your hour 15, 90-minute mark, it's okay. You'll have 2 weeks. You'll have 2 full weeks to listen to the episode. It'll be fine, okay? It's great. Now, that being said, Melina, kick off the top 5. What do you got?
At number 5, I will say this game, Nick started it, didn't finish it, streaming.
I'm interested in hearing about this.
Colin and I forced him to play it
Oh.
because we swear by it. I still swear by it. I even watched a 2-hour video on YouTube on the music
Hey.
analysis of the game, the entire soundtrack.
Well, what if he did the hard mode?
No.
I know.
I know what game you're
What's the
talking about. It's
game?
not happening.
Number 5 is Undertale.
Oh,
Um,
I was expecting something major.
I first saw this game. Who did I watch play it? I watched Nate Wants to Battle play it. I forget, with his friend, and they voiced the characters. It was hilarious. I was laughing the whole time. And then when I found that it was coming on the Switch, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can fight Sans! I can see if I'm worthy." And yeah, I love the music. I love the art style. I love the story. It's such a deep story for how the game looks. So like, don't judge a book by its cover. It's
Toby
such
Fox cooked.
Toby Fox annihilated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
one of my favorite games of all time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Totally
there are-
fair.
There are times, there were definitely times this past semester where I was bored in class. So, of course, on the school computer, I just pulled up Bad Time Simulator and just fought Sans at school. And my friends who were sitting next to me just look over, and all they see is me doing the Sans fight. And they're like, how are you doing this good? Because I consistently would
Practice
get to
makes
the
perfect.
I would consistently get to the end of the fight, and then I would die because I'm on keyboard. I can only do that fight on controller. So
Yeah.
Huh. I
I'll
need to
never-
get back to playing Undertale because I bought that game hoping to finish it, but I never really understood why I never continued. I guess I was just trying to figure out which route I'm taking, but I never remained
You do all of them.
consistent.
I'm never going to play that game again.
I think
Such a
That
I
has
think-
to be the most unfun gaming experience I've ever had in my
Aw.
entire life.
He doesn't get it.
And
You
I've
don't
played
get it,
a
Nick.
lot of things.
I think if anything,
You're supposed to connect with it emotionally.
I think if
I have
anything,
no problem doing that with games.
I think if anything, to get Nick into Undertale, we might just have to play it for him, and he
Oh.
just watches it.
I can call up Sansa and have him show up at his door.
Please don't. Please don't. All right, Alex, number 5. What do you got?
Number 5 is, this would actually be my real number 5, unlike my last one, which I had to switch. So, Breath of the Wild.
Okay, we got some Zelda. Let's go.
Okay, so Breath of the Wild does belong there for me because the story was great, the gameplay was great, and the memories it just hit me emotionally, like really hard, especially with like how Zelda and Link got into like the positions they were in. It just really hit, and I loved replaying the game multiple times to see like, hey, can I get the Master Sword before getting to the Divine Beasts and be good and get some really sick gear?
That's fair.
I just kept playing until I got all the shrines, and that was tedious, but I got it done. It was fun.
The completionist in all of us.
No, literally. I still.
I'm
haven't
not
finished
going
all
to be a
shrines in
completion.
Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm not being a completionist with the Korok seeds. I'm not gathering all 900 of them.
Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't.
All right, that's fair. It's fair.
Colin, you're acting
I'm just
sus
gonna.
over there.
I'm just gonna go
I'm
ahead.
trying to
and-
fix my lighting.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the gate. Breath of the Wild is not on my list at all.
Wow.
It is not in my top 10,
Character
and everything
development.
will make sense at the end. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think
For
I
now.
kind of know what would replace
Well, I'll
it,
give
though.
a warning. The rest of my list is pretty disappointing in a certain way.
Colin, number 5. What do you got?
Let me pull up my list. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's that feeling when you wake up and you check the time on your phone, but you forgot to turn the brightness down.
I just finished a social link in Persona 4. Hold on. Now let me turn this down so I'm not flashbanging myself.
Which social link?
No, it just any kanji. Sure, I'll pick kanji. Anyway, my
Kanji. Ooh.
so wait, we're doing number 5, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, flashbang threw me off. All right. But I've got Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Ooh.
There they go.
Y'all, I think Alex and I just have the same list. So no, the reason I put
Maybe.
Scarlet and Violet is there's a very big reason I put this game there. It's because, again, hey guys, Pokemon games are really good when you don't have somebody in your ear saying it's bad. Secondly,
Absolutely.
I never encountered a single glitch in that entire game.
Neither have I. I just found weird. It's just with videos and stuff. I found I'm like, wow, that is strange in a way.
I thought it was funny. I just thought
Nintendo's
it was hilarious.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. No, it literally was, because then they fixed the game and it's fine. It's fine. And that was what everybody said about Cyberpunk too, is after Cyberpunk Edge Runners came out, everyone went back and played Cyberpunk and they were like, wait, this game's fixed.
Wait, they fixed it.
So
Say it ain't so.
but I like that you can, instead of bonding with a legendary, how you do it normally in the other games, how you bond with the legendary is peanut butter jelly the long way. The long way.
Yep.
So yeah.
That is how it be in Scarlet and Violet. And
Yeah.
I just found it funny that for your legendary dragon, that is your way of moving fast, you can't say no to giving him the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
You had to give it to him.
Just give him a sandwich.
That's true. That's true. All right, my number 5. I think with this, I will round out, and I will be the 4th person on this episode to have this on their list. So let's bring it full circle here. And you know what else has circles? Wheels. You know what else has wheels? Carts. My number 5 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That was a great segue. Segways also have wheels. That's incredible.
Nick,
Mario Kart
stop
8
talking. Just stop talking.
Yeah, just stop.
Nick
Also, you're
has
not
lost
the
all
fourth
this
one.
talking.
You're not the fourth one. You're the third one to do it. Mario Kart's not on my list. I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, we're not coming full circle.
Bad
but
host.
you know what else?
Bad host. He's not even paying attention.
You
Bad
know what
host.
else is? You know what else has the circles? Okay, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is good. It's a good game. I like that it has 98 tracks or 96, however many it has. I also will echo the same sentiments we've kind of already talked about, so I'll keep it brief. The game does get a little stale, and I think that's just because we've had it for so long. We've had it for 8 years, and even then, we had it like on Wii U before that. And fundamentally, mechanically, it's the same game, right? It's still the same like anti-grav, gliding, underwater. Like bringing it over to Switch was great for the people who didn't have it, but also for those who did. Like, well, now you've had the same Mario Kart for 12 years. Right? Like, you've had it for a long time, so I understand that, which is why I'm excited to actually get a new Mario Kart for once. But that said,
Moo Moo Cow.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a good game. It's my favorite Mario Kart game as of right now, just because like they brought over some of my favorite 3DS courses. I like the customization. There are things I don't like. Like, I wish we had something to do with coins, and you know, the online was a little better, but other than that, it's still super fun. I've had a lot of like fun experiences with it. All my, college friends coming over, and we're all playing Mario Kart and yelling at each other because someone threw a blue shell at the last minute. Like, kind of like Colin said, it's that game where whenever you have people over, nobody's going to say no to Mario Kart. And if they do, they can get out. But like, it's just a fun game. It's very user friendly. Like, you don't have to be super good at it to have a good time. It's just a fun thing that you can do with people, and I think that's great. So that's my number 5, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's good. It's good. Melina,
Yes.
number 4.
My number 4. I played this game on stream. I was so freaking happy when they announced the sequel at the Game Awards, Okami HD. So, okay.
I still haven't finished that game.
I never started it.
Oh, you're right. I never finished down. I love this game so much. I first saw it on YouTube in a playthrough, and I fell in love with the art style, the music, the whole mechanics and everything. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, just please play Okami if you have not. Okay.
That's fair.
That's
I
Again.
remember watching you play it on stream. What a time.
I still
What a
haven't
Yeah,
time.
finished it.
definitely.
Stop.
Alex,
I remember making the background for that, or the banner.
Hey, I needed help. okay?
I made the banner for everyone, actually, didn't I?
yeah, you were good at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll let him do what he's good at. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dude, never forget when I streamed Danganronpa
Once.
once. I had
Wait,
so
you
much
actually
planned.
streamed it?
Yeah, no, I streamed it once, and I had a lot of plans for it, and then I just never finished it because I just could not play that game.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Alex, number 4. What you got?
My number 4. Get ready, Colin, for this one. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance.
Oh, okay, never mind. That's not on my list.
Yeah, not yet for that. It's going to happen. I know it will. It's guaranteed. If it doesn't happen, I am quitting podcasting.
Oh,
Maybe not.
Huh?
But
that's a big.
but Shin Megami, I actually got into the SMT series a year ago. Start off with Shin Megami SMT3 Nocturne on the Switch. And really fun game. I wish I got to meet with Dante instead of Rido.
Hey, don't you talk bad about Rido. Don't you talk bad about Rido.
Rido's not bad, but I like Dante a lot more.
It's DMC2 Dante, though.
Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, but it's DMC2 Dante, though. Like, DMC2 Dante's awful.
I don't know which part of the game he's from. I just know it's Dante, and I like him.
I mean, Dante is cool, but DMC 2
one of
Dante is awful.
My favorite move from Raido though is Yoshitsune.
Yeah,
that persona is way too overpowered.
I am so excited for the Devil
But
Summoner.
Shin Megami Tensei 5, I watched so much gameplay of it. I like the Nahubino more than the Demi-Fiend. And the music, especially during the Demi-Fiend boss fight, is epic. And I actually got in trouble at work one time because of it.
Dang.
My boss was boring, and I decided to put on the gameplay. This was a previous job, so
Bro, Alex looked at his boss and went, "Boo! Tomato, 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 tomato."
if you were in my position, you'd think the exact same way, and you understand why I was watching the boss fight, seeing how Demi-Fiend is so difficult.
You're like, I need something entertaining, please.
And Vengeance, to me, I like the outfit design for the Nahubino, especially with like the difference of the story. And I actually decided to like make do some voice acting with it, practicing with the Nahubino's voice.
That's good.
Because voice acting is something I want to get into.
Good for you. I encourage you in that endeavor.
It's impossible for me.
You'll get there. Not with that attitude.
I
You'll
live
get
in
there.
you hear my dog.
Yeah.
That's
You
not
won't-
possible.
You won't forever. There's also
Woof.
really easy ways to make dogs stop making noise. I will
Okay.
not elaborate on this podcast. Colin, number 4. What do you got?
Nick, you don't want to know what my next one is.
I want to hear it.
I want to hear
I
it.
want to hear it.
Nick, my next one is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh. Am I the only one
wow,
here
you
who
put
hasn't
it-
played Animal Crossing?
It's okay. Animal Crossing's not on my list either.
Look, Colin and I have one now together.
Anyway, Nick, what are you gonna do to Isabel? What did Isabel do to you?
Nothing. Isabel's fine.
Trash her because for some reason I keep on getting her in Smash Ultimate.
Bro, Isabel
You
has
know what I'm
been
gonna say to that?
running...
Boo! Tomato, 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 tomato.
Isabel has been running my New Horizons Island flawlessly for the past 4 years because I have not picked up that game in forever.
Isabel has been running my island for the past year because I haven't played it in a year. So I put it on.
Isabel does not run my island because I don't
put it-
have one.
Real. I put it. Well, she's running the island because you don't have one. So she's running your island, your future island. When you get Animal Crossing New
I
Horizons.
never will. I never got into the game. It doesn't look
Cap.
fun.
Anyway, so yeah, what I was saying was, I put it at number 4 because that's the amount of hundreds of hours that I put in when it first came out. As I put 475 hours into the game.
I remember that.
In
That
the
was all
first,
like year 1 too. Right? It was like
yeah,
not
that
even
was in
year
the
1.
first
That was
that was in the first 8 months.
Yeah,
of me
I remember
having the
that.
game.
I thought you were
That's
gonna say
great.
8 weeks.
No, no.
Like you're so into it.
The only thing I can give credit to Animal Crossing for is that it helped me fix my sleep schedule. Because I was sleeping until like 3 to 4 p.m. And I was like, oh, but I need to get these fish. And so I was like, well, I have to wake up earlier now.
It's a
And
routine.
so I would wake up earlier because it was COVID. So I was just like, well, I don't care to sleep. I'm going to stay up really late. And I'm
That's
gonna
so
sleep really late.
fair, dude.
And then you know.
Animal Crossing's not on my list, mainly because, and I might get flamed for this, New Horizons ain't it for me. Like, for me, it never, like, surpassed New Leaf. And, like, I think it does a
No,
lot
that's
of...
true.
It
That's
does a
true.
lot of
That's so
great
true.
things. Like, it brings in the terraforming. I think that's great. That's about where my praise stops, because everything else was just like, it's all right. Like, it could be better. It is what it is. Whereas New Leaf was like, I felt like I always had all this stuff to do. Whereas New Horizons, I hit a cap. And I,
Yeah.
hit a ceiling of there's nothing else for me to do. There's no
That's so
like
true though.
there's no new shops to get, there's no new upgrades to get, there's no like I've maxed out the museum, whereas New Leaf, I think there was a lot more to it. And also, I have an intense nostalgia for New Leaf. So that also plays into it. So I'm hoping the next Animal Crossing game takes the good stuff they did in New Horizons and then puts it like back on the good stuff from New Leaf, because I don't think New Horizons is a bad game, because I put in over I think like 400 hours into it too. So yeah, I like obviously I think it's a good enough game that I'd sink that much time into it, but also there's a reason I haven't played it in 4 years. Like, so I just hope the next one's better. But my number 4, go ahead.
Oh, just sorry, little side note. I would love it if they had like backstories for the characters that you could like actually interact and do stuff with. Anyways, your number
I think
4.
I think this would be really sick because they've done it. I think it'd be great if they, and maybe this would like ruin the charm of Animal Crossing, but find a way to do like text to speech for the villagers, so like they can talk to you instead of just like doing the mumbling. I don't know. People might get up in arms about that because they're like, but the is part of the thing, and I'm like, yeah, no, you're right, but also, I don't know, maybe change it up every now and then. Who's to say?
Have actual voice actors.
Hey, Nick, do you want to know what I have to say to that? That last point. Boo! 2 minutes.
My number 4 is a game that I don't think enough people appreciate, because they say, it sucks. Everything's great about it, but it sucks. And you say, well, why does it suck? You can't say everything's great and then say it sucks. And they're like, well, the controls suck. Okay? It's a hard game to play. Like, controls are everything. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Okay? Like, I get it. So, this is a game I wanted to come to Switch for a long time. It was on Wii. And I was like, okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I played it a little bit on Wii, but I couldn't get into it. And then I never had a Wii again to play it. And then they brought it to Switch. I kid you not. In the direct where they announced it, you can go back and watch this because it's on the podcast Instagram. In the direct where they announced this, it's a Zelda game. It's Skyward Sword HD. I just
knew
need to
it!
put that out there so that like, I have
knew
the
it!
proper context. Eiji Onuma comes on screen. He's like, hey, I bet you were expecting an update on Breath of the Wild 2. No. But we have this. And then it like fades and it cuts. I saw one cloud and I was like, oh, that's Skyward Sword. Oh my gosh, that's Skyward Sword. 2 seconds later, the Skyloft theme comes in. Dude, I jumped out of my chair. That sucker flipped backwards and I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I was so excited. And then I played it and I'm like, hold on. This might be a top 3 Zelda game of all time. Like, the dungeons, incredible. The story, phenomenal. The exploration of like the sky and going to all the islands and stuff, incredible. Oh, dude. The music, peak. And I will be a staunch defender of the motion controls. I think, should it be the standard for Zelda games? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But the way they made it work for this game, it was so fun to be like doing the final fight. Yeah, and like they improved the motion controls for Switch, and that in and of itself is great. But to be like fighting enemies and having to like wave my hand and like bump the shield, like it was such a like physically active game that it made me feel more immersed than just sitting there with my controller in my hand and like doing this. Not to say that, you know, like Breath of the Wild, you can't get immersed. You can, but there was something special about Skyward Sword where you have to like wave the sword and do the thing and like poke and stab and like, I don't know. I'll be a staunch defender of the motion controls. I think they're great, and they're honestly not that bad on Switch. So,
well, the Skyward Sword was designed specifically for motion control use.
Yeah.
Exactly, which is why I think you're missing out on the experience if you play it with button controls. I know they had to do that for like the Switch Lite and stuff where you like don't have the Joy-Cons, but I also feel like, you know, you're missing out if you don't play with motion controls. And if you don't want a Zelda game that doesn't have, you know, button controls, then go play literally any of the other Zelda games. Like, literally. any of them. Any of the other games. This is the only one that has that. So yeah, that's my number 4. Skyward Sword HD. I'll die on that hill. It's my number 2 favorite Zelda game of all time. And it's like my number 6. It's like my number 6 favorite game of all time. But that's enough about me. Melina, kick us off with the top 3.
Okay, I probably shouldn't be in this position because of my shirt, because that is so creepy.
Yeah.
So creepy. At number 3, and this will make sense for number 2 and 1, I guess. Whatever. My number 3 is Breath of the Wild.
All right, there it is.
Breath of the Wild was
Melina and I
first-
haven't Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Breath of the Wild was the first open world game I ever played. Not the first Zelda game I've ever played. I've played Zelda games since I was little. But when I first heard that it was going to be an open world game, I already at the time did not like open world games. Just because it just... I don't know. At the time, I don't know what was going through my head. But I absolutely hated them. And I was like, oh, this game's going to be horrible. It's going to be bad. I'm not even going to play it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I ended up getting it. And I play it. And, you know, maybe almost 600 hours later.
Holy cannoli.
Yeah.
Does it be my most played game?
Nick, when I showed you my play hours on that, you were like, you've only had it for this long? And you've played already over 500 hours? How? I'm like, So, yeah, Breath of the Wild changed my mind about open world games. And I really do love it. I like the story. I love the characters. Yeah. And shout out to Ravioli.
True.
Boo. Boo. Boo.
Rotten
No, no, no.
Tomatoes.
No, Mifa's the best.
Boo.
Shut
Tomato,
up!
tomato, tomato,
Yeah,
tomato,
yeah.
boo.
3 against
I
1,
never
Nick, your
said-
beats.
Hey, I never said Mifa and Link. Link and Zelda, sure. But I love Mifa, okay?
Mifa and Link.
Yeah, you know, it's whatever. Alex, number 3.
Number 3. Well, I guess it's time for Persona 5 Royal.
There it is.
Persona 5 Royal is my number 3. I absolutely love it. Yoshizawa, best girl.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
And
Wait a minute.
Oh, no,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay.
Then
So-
Makoto and
No,
Haru.
no, no, no. No,
Never.
Hey, no. I'm not even gonna touch the Haru thing. You say don't date the child about Futaba, yet Yoshizawa
Oh my gosh,
and Futaba
you are one of the
same age.
No. Okay? Do not be one of those people that commented that on my Persona 5 story. Here's the thing.
It's literally factual.
No.
What are you talking about?
I never said the reason why. Okay? The reason why I said Futaba lands you behind bars. Well, first of all, that was mostly rage bait because people will defend their stance in the comments. Okay? Rage bait gets you the wins.
He's right. He's
Yeah,
right.
but
He's out of line, but he's
still,
right.
It's still
And
factually correct.
for me, I would never go with Futaba because to me, her and Joker have more of a sibling bond.
Yeah,
That's
That has nothing to do with the statement that you made, though.
it again, I said it as rage bait.
Okay.
I did it for the
Masterful play.
comments.
All I'm saying
And
is,
you know what? It worked. Over 300,000 views.
That's crazy.
I cosplayed Haru.
I wanted to cosplay as Ryuji.
I wanted to cosplay as
And-
Joker, but
But you didn't show up with your cosplay, so I was the only one
man,
cosplaying.
I,
Did he
I was
even order it?
unemployed. I didn't have any money. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
wanted
told
to.
you to save up.
I was so excited to see Max Middleman as Ryuji.
He's so
I still
nice.
got that. I still got that autograph in a frame hanging.
Good.
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 For real?
For real.
For eel.
For real?
On COD.
But
card?
yeah,
No, for real, though, Max Middleman is such a sweetheart. I love him.
Persona 5 Royal, amazing game. I'm so glad I played it. It cost me a lot of money.
Worth it.
That's fair. All right, Colin. Number 3.
All right, so my number 3 is like a recent addition, as from like last year. So my number 3 is Paper Mario 1000 Year Door.
Yes! Sorry. 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 I'm so sorry. Hey, Nick, if there's any way you could put a warning, or just lower my volume.
You actually peaked and it just got completely
Discord
cut
just
out.
cut out.
You,
Like,
You're still cut out.
We got the quiet version.
I'm so sorry.
and we don't put warnings for that. We got to make the audience awake. We got to wake them up because we're an hour and 30 minutes in. Or approximately that.
Well, we're almost done. Anyways, continue.
Jeez.
1000 Year Door.
Yeah, so 1000 Year Door, it was my first time ever playing it when it came out on the Switch. So it was just really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I think there was just like a lot of really, really cool things that were in the game. And I think everyone should play it. So that's like it. That's really all I have to say about 1000 Year Door.
I want to get it, but I am trying so hard to save up money for the Switch 2 and December for an anime convention. I'm trying to
Switch
save up
2 will
every
have
buck
games.
as I can.
True.
Because I am
Nintendo.
not coming home without a huge bank statement.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Switch 2 will have games. So
I'll probably get it next year because I'm moving out, so I need to save
Bro, I
money.
I feel like Switch 2 gonna have more exclusives in the first year than PlayStation has had in the last 5. Anyway, that's irrelevant.
True.
Number 2.
My number 3. Thank you very much.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I thought we were at 2. Sorry.
My number 3. It'll be quick because we've already talked about this at length. It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. When I was shocked when you guys put it that low. I was like, dang, am I like out of line here for putting it at number 3?
Hey guys, this is Nick. Get it? Because there's no one else who'd put it that high.
Yeah.
I put Breath of the Wild high. You all did it. Or either did it.
I put Breath of the Wild dead center.
A lot of my enjoyment from Smash comes not from anything the game does itself, but from like the memories that are associated with it. Because as Alex, alluded to, we played it a lot in college. That's where I got actually kind of good at Smash, and
by good you mean lost to my cloud multiple times,
hey, listen,
even after
man,
teaming up against me.
Fight my Steve, bro.
I defeat your Pyra and Mithra.
Yeah, but
They're
my
gonna fight
Steve
after this
is
podcast
better. I'm
episode.
telling you, bro. My Steve locked in. Anyway,
My cloud only improves because I'm an RPG character. I only level up, solo leveling.
I'm Minecraft Steve.
Never
have
say
no
that
limits.
again.
Please don't.
I had to because of the shirts.
That was
No,
that was like anti-bars. Like that was that's some stuff. Oh man, I was so good. I was so good about it. And of course, the
it wasn't
second I
me.
go to roast someone.
Anyways,
Lynn, I
wasn't me.
apologize for accusing you of being the
that's
first
some,
one to do
that's
it.
some stuff you would see on Wattpad. Anyway,
I'm gonna take the stuff you saying that, and I'm just gonna play it over that.
That's some
Like
that's
the
some
voiceover.
stuff.
Yeah, because you like dead stop. You're like, that's some stuff that I see on there. Look at that. Only 153 episodes to catch our first swear.
All
That
I had to
will
do-
not be a ongoing
course,
thing.
Of
All
course
I had
it
to do was just
me.
make a cringy
Of
joke,
course it
so
was
I
me.
take a lot of pride in that.
Anyway, a lot of my
Listen-
enjoyment from Smash comes from college, and then after college, like just playing. Like I play with some of my work friends, and I don't know. I main Steve. not well. Like when people think Steve, they think, oh, you're like playing, like you're doing all the blocks and stuff, and you're like comboing. I'm like, no, I'm fishing rod into minecart into lava bucket, like same 3 combos, and I almost have Steve in Elite Smash, so I don't know how that happened. But anyway, yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, good game. I enjoy it. So, Melina, number 2.
My number 2, I bought it when I found out it was going to be on the Switch, and it was the first open world game I watched a full playthrough of, and I fell in love with the story. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive
Yeah! Xenoblade mentioned!
Edition. Exactly. And especially when I bought it, and I was like, oh my god, look at I was like, oh, it's in high definition, and I was like, oh my god, look at Shock! I love this. I love that story so much, and Nick has been trying to tell me to play 2 and 3. I will get to it eventually. I don't know how I've avoided spoilers and stuff, but I have. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful game, and I love the fact that if you can see it, you can 99% of the time go to it.
Yeah.
So, it's great, and yeah.
The only reason I haven't played 2 yet, because I was going to be like my opening Switch 2 game, just so I can be like, oh, let me get into like a big, RPG, is there's a rumor that we might be getting a definitive edition in the future where they fix a lot of the stuff that people didn't like and make it run better. So I'm like, okay, I'll give them a year. We'll see what happens. They just put out Xenoblade X definitive edition, so they might want to put out, a new game in between and then do 2 definitive edition, but we'll see. So, Xenoblade mention, that's goated. That's epic. I can't believe we had to go this far into an episode to mention Xenoblade.
I know. Oh, and the music is amazing.
True.
True.
I use the music in so many of my videos.
I'm well aware you do.
Exactly.
Me too.
Yes, to see them all.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alex, number 2. What do you got?
My number 2, Persona 4 Golden.
And back to back.
Dang.
Back,
all right.
literally.
Okay, hold on. While Alex is explaining his number 2, I need to go get something for my number 2. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So, Persona 4 Golden so I think that Persona 5 Royal has amazing music that would be great for adding to a Spotify playlist, but Persona 4 Golden just has really has so much better music for me, in my opinion. Like, the boss fight music feels more boss fight music.
That's fair.
And the music for like the different dungeons, they all fit the theme, especially Heaven when you're rescuing Nanako. Oh, dang it, spoilers.
Nah, it's okay. I'll be all right.
So and I'll Face Myself Battle is one song that actually made it into a mention on my Spotify Wrapped last year.
Wow.
Because anytime I played a game that involves a boss fight, that one is always something I'm going to play on my Spotify, and I play it on repeat a lot.
That's fair. I need to play 4.
Yu Narukami's starting persona being Izanagi. Like, Izanagi's already my favorite persona. And I already did Izanagi only on Persona 4 when I did New Game Plus, New Game Plus, because I like it.
That's fair.
But I wonder what they would cook for the remake or remaster of that game.
Better graphics.
The graphics are already pretty decent.
Which
not bad.
I can kind of understand why 4 would be the next one, because I feel like they could get away using the same engine as 3 and just like kind of crank that sucker out. So I can.
Yeah, but the problem is if they go to 4, then we had to wait even longer. Like, I'm pretty sure they're already doing 4, but for Personas 1 and 2, they're only playable on PSP or emulator.
Yeah, I also feel like what was the rumor? I think the Persona 4 has a new website that's not publicly available yet. That like it was some website or some trademark or something that got updated, and it was the same like website update to announcement timing that Persona 3 had when they did Reload 2 years ago when they announced it. So the speculation is Summer Games Fest they're going to announce Persona 4, whatever the remake is, because they've got 3 out the door. They're done with Metaphor, and now they're like, okay, well, we need another project. So we'll see if that happens.
They better bring back Johnny Young Bosch as Yu Narukami.
Dude,
they might.
And
I don't think they will, because they didn't bring back any of the original cast for Persona 3.
I was gonna say.
I don't think they will.
A little honorable mention: the Persona 4 anime is the best anime in the Persona franchise.
It's really good. It's really good.
The comedy is amazing. The action is great, and the animation is really good.
Where did we go wrong with 5?
Don't talk about it.
Where did we go wrong with 5?
I don't know.
I won't talk about it. Colin, number 2.
All right, so my my number 2 is a very, very neat game that I was really, really looking forward to because it was the first game that I got to play in that series, and it's Metroid Dread.
Ooh.
Wow.
I was wondering if we were
going
gonna make it all the way through without Metroid.
So yeah, Metroid Dread is a game that I have been meaning to go back and replay for ages, but I'm actually waiting to replay through it until I've played through the rest of the series. Currently I'm sitting at Prime 2, and Prime 2 is a game that definitely exists. I've been on Prime 2, I genuinely think, for like 3 years.
The O said it all. That
It's been a while. Anyway, the thing I went to go get was that I liked Metroid Dread so much that I dropped like $100 to get a Samus figure.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
nice.
So yeah,
That's so cool.
This is a magnet, so it sits on my fridge.
Oh,
wow.
that's so
That's
cool.
actually
amazing.
sick.
So,
That's sick.
yeah. So I did that. It took like a year to get here, and I entirely had forgotten about it. And it went through at like the worst time because I was like incredibly broke. And I was like, oh, I wish I didn't buy this. And then I was like, well, I have Samus now. But I have no
broke,
money.
but at least I have Samus.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Metroid Dread is a really fun game. It's really short, and I really enjoy playing it. I even 100%ed it on my first time playing through it. So
Wow. I will say
Anyway.
Metroid Dread is a good game. Not on my list, but it is the only Metroidvania I've ever finished. Because I usually don't like those type of games, but Dread was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Colin, if Metroid Prime 4 comes out before you finish all of them, are you going to have to play 4 before you can go back and play Dread?
that's a good question. Once Metroid Prime 4 gets a release date, if it's a lot sooner than expected, I'm gonna go ahead and just win.
Every time they showed it in a direct in the last like year, I'm like, why does it not have a date? They showed it in that like direct they did right before the Switch 2 direct, no date.
Everyone
And then they showed it in the Switch 2 direct and no date. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, because that was what everyone thought, is that we were gonna get the date in the Switch 2 direct and not the regular direct, and then nothing. And we were like,
The only thing they showed in the Switch 2 direct was, hey, 4K, what is it? 4K 60 docked? Or
Yeah.
no, it's the 2 modes, 4K 60 or 1080 120 and
Yeah.
mouse mode. And I'm like, shoot, dude, I'll be getting that on Switch 2. I don't even like Metroid Prime,
Yeah,
but I'm kind of hyped.
I'm excited to play
Yeah.
with mouse mode because I think that'll be fun. But yeah, no, I think if it's a lot sooner, I'm gonna try to just speed run through Prime 2, the rest of Prime 2, and then Prime 3, and then I'll just play it. Because what I was trying to do is do a 3D and then a 2D game, like I was alternating between those. So after Prime 2, it was supposed to be Samus Returns, which was the remake of Metroid 2. But I haven't gotten to play that because I just haven't finished Prime 2. So
Yeah, that's fair. My
Yeah.
number 2, similar to Melina's number 2, and that I won't even beat around the bush. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What can I say?
Hey, I knew you were gonna
Incredible
say
game.
that.
My favorite of the 2 Xenoblade games I've played. Not to say that, Definitive Edition is bad, because it's not. It actually is a really good story. I personally I don't know. I connected with 3 on an emotional level because the whole premise of that game is like trying to deal with loss and how do you keep moving forward despite having this immense loss. And that game, it's a right place, right time, because a month before that game came out, one of my best friends passed away. And then to play this game that is all about dealing with loss and having to find the strength to keep moving forward despite that. And moving forward doesn't mean you're forgetting, but also you can't stay in the past. So that I connected with it on an emotional level. I like the combat a lot more than the other game. And I know that's a controversial opinion because the battle system is weird, but I think it was better and I got into it a lot quicker. I spent, I don't know, 150 hours in that game. Holy cannoli. And I still want to go back and New Game Plus it because it's great. And I don't feel like I've fully finished it yet. And I know it's been a couple years, but I love Xenoblade 3. I can sing the praises all day, but I'll stop there. So with that being said, Melina, what is your number 1 favorite Switch game of all time?
My number 1, and actually, real quick side note, I think Definitive Edition for you is a little down because I think you're just upset, Melia.
No. I understand the story ramifications now. I'm totally behind
he gets-
Shulk and Fiora.
After years, he finally gets it.
Melia is
Anyways.
still peak best girl, but also I understand. I see the vision.
I still have yet to play Future Redeemed.
I still have yet to play Future Connected.
I've yet
So
to
That's
finish
crazy.
anything.
I'm gonna go back and do it, dude. I'm gonna go back and do it. This is such a side tangent. I'll let Melina go back. I'm excited to do it because I'm getting the new Switch 2 Pro controller, and it's got the buttons on the back, and you can map those buttons. So I'm gonna map those buttons so I can scroll through the Monado arts with the buttons on the back of the controller instead of having to take my thumb off the thumbstick and press the D-pad to move, which is so stupid.
I'm pretty sure you can change that though. You can make that a bind where you don't do that.
I probably could, but I also
He
need
didn't
stuff to
bother
play
to
on
look.
Switch 2.
Anyways,
Bro is too lazy.
True.
I feel like my number 1 comes at no surprise to nobody here.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is yet.
Well, let's say I waited 6 hours for the release.
Okay.
Ooh,
In
yep, I
line
know what it is.
outside, so that I could get the OLED edition for it, the dock, poster, little plaque thing, and the game, all that. Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Mind you, I have grown up with Zelda since I was a kid. Since before I can remember stuff. So, literally, Ocarina was my first game. I've gone through every single Zelda since, and I was just really excited for this. And yeah, I called off work, waited
so
in
real.
line. Some person's girlfriend was waiting in line with her boyfriend, and she went to go grab him dinner, and she offered to get me dinner, so I had free food. So
That's nice.
thank you to her. Oh my god, the night I got home, I immediately played it, and I remember when we were first talking about the rumors of what the next, the sequel to Breath of the Wild was going to be, everybody was on the tangent of of rehydrated canon. Anyways, needless to say, we sort of got that because wow. Ganon looks great. Shout out to Matt Mercer. He plays him really well. I'm excited for apparently the new Hyrule Warriors game that's coming
Oh.
for Switch
True.
2. That's a set I heard was gonna be like canon to the timeline.
Yes, it's fully canon. It's not
Which I
like
was
this
like-
Age of Calamity nonsense where they were like, it's actually not
The
canon.
first Hyrule
Just
Warriors
kidding.
is the
Didn't
best.
they say that?
already?
Didn't they say that about Age of Calamity 2 though? All I'm saying is if they pull that again, I'm gonna. I can't say that.
supposedly this is gonna be during Zelda's time in the past.
I'm
That's what I heard.
honestly
But then
really
now I'm like-
interested to see how they do a Hyrule Warriors game without Link.
Without Link. Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Hey, something new.
Like,
I'm excited.
Get that twink out of here.
you can't say that.
That's
can't
not
say
a
it
bad
either.
word.
No,
I guess no, he's right.
he's right. But dang, I can't even say family friendly show.
After cast.
After. Okay. Alex. You're number one.
So, my number one, it probably would not come as a surprise, but this is actually the first game in this franchise to have a character named Makoto, Persona 3 Portable.
Dang, his
Aw,
top three
man.
really was just Persona. I respect that.
He literally
man.
did 543.
I was thinking it was gonna be Jujutsu Kaisen Curse.
I've never even watched the anime. No.
You didn't?
Nick's
No.
words.
Melina was getting my updates of
I
watching
watched
season 2.
I watched
Wait,
Nick's
what?
videos.
Oh.
I said Melina
I
was
watched
getting.
ex-
Oh, go ahead. Melina was getting my updates of watching
Yeah.
season 2.
I
It was
watched-
crazy.
I watched Nick's videos on Jujutsu Kaisen, and it turned me away from the series from
Oh no.
from starting it.
Nick.
Good.
Nick.
All right, this isn't
And-
an anime podcast.
But
Anyways.
Persona 3 Portable, the best story in the whole Persona franchise.
As far as I'm
Bars.
And-
in 3, he's
And
cooking.
Nick, when you mentioned something about like dealing with loss and moving forward, that is it.
I know Persona 3 is going to
That
hit it.
is in Persona 3. The answer.
Bars.
I'm like,
Bars. I haven't played the answer, but bars.
Before playing the answer was only possible on PS2 if you had FES, but they didn't port that to Switch. They ported the PSP version, which doesn't even have animated cutscenes, which is why I'm so glad I got Persona 3 Reload for my PS5, which I got for an amazing deal, by the way, for $27, brand new from Walmart.
dang, what a steal.
But
I still haven't played Reload.
I
need to play it.
honestly, the beginning, like when you get your Persona, just
Bars.
I love how Orpheus just turns into Thanatos. I'm sorry that's spoilers, but I really need to say
Bars.
otherwise I can't.
It's not spoilers. It happens in like the first 30 minutes.
People who have
It's
never
fine.
played it, but
I've
and
It's in
only
the
been
first 30
watching-
minutes.
I've only been watching Alex Lee's
And-
playthroughs of it.
Dude.
how do you say his name? Ryuji or Ryoji? Ryoji.
Ryoji. I'm gonna
Ryoji is such.
Melina, I'm gonna message you something.
When you actually learn Ryoji, it hits you emotionally and has one of the best like stories and life lessons in it because of the Arcana.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how it ends. Cause I can tell I'm like at the end. I think I'm in December or at the end of November. I'm doing like my Tartarus run. Cause I like get all the way up to the day before the full moon, do all of my Tartarus stuff, and then continue
Tartarus
on in the
was such
story.
a pain for me on Portable.
I feel like
Oh, they
made it better
definitely
in
did.
Reload. Slightly.
And
Shuffle
but how would you
time?
feel if like there was no option to control your party? They did things on their own. You can only control like what aspect they do.
That
That's
would be bad.
that's Persona 3 FS. If
Ew.
Colin said it like made more sense to have it that way before.
So yeah, so there are thematic reasons it makes sense. There are gameplay reasons it doesn't make sense. But it really just depends on what you like. I've heard the actual AI for the characters is
It's not bad, but like I'd rather control them what they do, because if I said one party member to attack, and I see that a party member got seriously injured and that turn is wasted on an attack, I'd rather heal. But that's just for gameplay reasons. But Persona
That's
3
fair.
Portable, amazing, and I had to do my FMC run on it.
That's good. All right, Colin, number 1.
All right, Melina, get ready.
Uh-oh.
My number 1
Uh-huh.
is Xenoblade Definitive Edition.
Yeah!
We love to see the Xenoblade rep
I need
here,
to play
dog. It's great.
Xenoblade 3
Listen,
more.
Nick was there at midnight when Xenoblade DE came out, and I was like, all right, I hope
bye,
you know
guys.
I was like, you are not gonna hear from me for like 6 hours. And then I was up until like 7 a.m. playing Xenoblade DE. And I brain rotted on that game for a very, very long time. It was very good. And hey, I would like to point out, I am the reason that Nick got into Xenoblade.
No, it's true.
I'm not
You
gonna.
got- you
I'm not,
feel like you
I
need to-
can't. I can't not go a podcast episode without saying
You
that.
need to
I'm
make
the
it
reason
clear
for
to-
that. I still haven't watched Arcane.
You need to make it clear that you deserve the credit for Nick's hype for the Xenoblade series.
Oh,
I
100%.
forgot that was our deal. Was I would
Yeah.
finish Xenoblade Definitive Edition and you'd watch Arcane, and you still haven't watched Arcane.
I'm watching it. I'm watching it this summer.
All right, good. Only
I'm-
took you
I'm-
3
I'm,
years.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I think
Does
it was
this
longer.
wait? So, Colin, should that mean you need to take credit for a lot of credit for me getting into the Persona franchise and SMT? Because when we talked about it, like originally I was only
Yeah.
into like Persona 5, then I got into literally everything else.
Yeah. Listen, I just introduced people to a lot of games, and they're like, "This is my favorite."
Persona
game.
is just a masterpiece of an
I
RPG
still
franchise.
need to get into Yakuza.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Hey, they're
Yakuza-
bringing Yakuza to Switch too.
Yeah. Yakuza is kind of going like, but you know,
Aw.
it's fine. Like that's my thought on it, is that it's kind of going like, but you know, it's fine.
All right.
Anyway,
Cool.
what's your top video game?
Nicholas.
Let's hear it.
Switch.
Is a game that shouldn't surprise anyone, and that
Oh.
is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. What an incredible game. When I told you Breath of the Wild wasn't on this list, it's because, in my opinion, Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are kind of like, in a way, the same game for me. Because, like,
It's because they are.
$70
Here's the thing.
DLC.
Tears of the Kingdom
I'm kidding, by the way.
is Breath of the Wild, but better. Like, so I'm just like, Breath of the Wild was my number 1 for a long time, and I always said the only game that could ever top Breath of the Wild was Tears of the Kingdom, because it's Breath of the Wild, but more, and it sure did do that. This is the only game I've ever gone to a midnight launch for. I remember going to GameStop, picking up my, copy at midnight. I got the collector's edition. I didn't get the OLED Switch because I had an OLED already. Plus, that was like,
I waited.
we
That's
were
why I
knee
waited.
deep into like Switch 2, Switch Pro territory. So I was like, I'll just wait. My OLED's not that old. And here we are. We're on the precipice of my OLED getting replaced in like 2 weeks for Switch 2.
I get to keep
so-
my Switch too.
But yeah,
And it only took 2 years.
I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom in the sense of like I haven't gotten all the shrines and stuff. But now I feel a little more vindicated in waiting because they're doing the 4K 60 upgrade for Switch 2, which has
It'll
me like
actually run well.
all excited to go back and revisit the game because I've watched some of the side-by-sides that Nintendo's put up. And I'm like, dang, that actually looks good. Like, they took a game that already looked good on Switch and made it look even better. So, yeah, I love Tears of the Kingdom. The story is great. The gameplay's good. I'll stop there. I really love being able to go from the sky all the way to the depths in like one go. And I just think technically it's incredible. So that's our top 10 Nintendo Switch games of all time. Now, before we dip out, this doesn't have to take very long. I just kind of want to get a little read on the room here. You know, Switch 2 is coming out in a couple weeks. How's everybody feeling about Switch 2? I'll go last. We can go in the same order as, you know, we did the list. So I'll let Melina go first, and then Alex, and then Colin, then I'll go. What's the temperature with Switch 2? How are we feeling? You know, what are we doing? Melina, go ahead. You look like you had a lot to say.
The temperature is below 0.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be honest. I was like, I'm sorry, we're starting at 450, 400. And I, in a way, I'm like, okay, because the pre-sales, it sold out. You're obviously gonna have people that will dish out for a product that they're gonna absolutely love. So I'm like, okay, because I did the same for Tears of the Kingdom. There were a lot of people that were like, oh, it's just DLC. Like they were saying, they're not going to get it. But you have diehard fans that are going to dish it out. So and like, yes, I've grown up with Nintendo my whole life. So I would say that, yeah, I'm a diehard fan, but I'm just like, that's a lot of money. I'm also moving out, which is going to be a whole other thing. So I am gonna be holding back on it, waiting till maybe a price drop personally. But yeah, and while I do know the difference, like, because you were like, oh, you've seen the side by side of like Tears of the Kingdom running better on the Switch 2 and everything. While I do understand like the lag, it's annoying and everything, it really didn't hinder my gameplay of it or my experience with it. So I've always been kind of meh about that aspect, but yeah, so I'm gonna just be playing the waiting game.
That's fair.
But
Alex?
to anybody out there that do not, don't let that discourage you. If you want to go get it, please go get it.
Alex, how you feeling about Switch 2?
Well, I was hoping to get a pre-order from it myself on GameStop, but here's two main issues that I encountered. The first one, the day before the pre-orders came out, there was a massive wildfire right by my house, and the GameStop was in the same town that wildfire was hit the biggest. So that GameStop, it was not an option. And 2, because of it, my only option was to pre-order online. The GameStop servers were down the moment the pre-orders went up, so I missed a lot. Thanks to a massive wildfire. So I thought my only option now was to wait months just for a console to come back.
Don't
worry,
tell
I
me
got
that
you.
guy just
Huh?
Nick just mewed at that.
Oh
So-
gosh.
It was honestly really sad because I was super hyped to like get in line to pre-order it, and then I just hear about my friends being able to pre-order it and either in store or online, and I'm like, how did I get the short end of the stick and end up almost choking from smoke.
He's like, I almost died, and I didn't even get Switch 2. I got nothing to show for it.
But
What was the point?
When I do get a Switch 2, I am super excited to play SMT5 Vengeance because I get more because I literally got the steelbook case of that game. And I'm super excited to play Persona in 4K 60, but there's one thing I am concerned about is my digital downloads being accessible on the Switch 2. I'm hoping that's possible.
I mean, it's all gonna it's system transfer. It's just like getting transferring from a Switch to an OLED. Everything will move over. Everything's still on your account. All your save data goes to the cloud. Which Rare, well, just rare in general. Pro consumer move from Nintendo. They have a dedicated server that you can upload all of your Switch data to if you need to sell your Switch to pay for the Switch 2 before it comes out. Because that's a big issue. Like, that's why I haven't gotten rid of my OLED yet, is because, like, oh, well, I have to wait till I get Switch 2 and then transfer everything over. And, like, I'm in a financial position where I don't have to do that. Like, I'm lucky enough to not have to do that. But I know a handful of people who have had to do that, where they're like, well, I need the money from my Switch to pay for my Switch 2. So the fact that they're aware of that and offering that as an option, I think is really cool, because it's the reason a lot of people don't trade in their stuff. Because, like, well, then all my stuff goes away.
And that's good, because really cool. Persona 3 and 4 are only available digitally on Switch. So I still need to complete my FMC run. And just a quick thought: is it bad if I just skip through all dialogue just so I can actually get to gameplay? If I've already completed the story once,
no. If you've already done the story, then no, it's fine.
As long as you just like know what's different.
I honestly, that would mean I would have to like have FEMC. I think for FEMC it's only for like social links, because I think that's the only main thing that's different.
Yeah, that's really the big thing.
All right, Colin, tell me about Switch 2. How you feeling?
Not too great. So I think if I do get a Switch 2, it's definitely going to be like secondhand, just because I'll be real, I don't care to buy it right now. There aren't, like, the only way I would actually get it is, one, if we get a new Zelda game announced. I'm probably just going to buy Metroid Prime 4 on the Switch 1 because it can run with that. But also, one of my big things I'm not looking forward to and I'm not really excited about is the whole like user agreement stuff, because I don't know if you guys heard about that, but basically the biggest issue you run into now is Nintendo can just turn off your console at any point, and
that's my concern,
never turn it back on. And they've said, oh, that's only for modding and stuff like that. I wouldn't
really come across that issue, because I don't really like to mod anything. For me, I just like to keep things the way they are.
That's what I'm saying, is like, I won't mod it, but I still don't like that. Like, you know, if I pay for a console, I should have it, and I should just not. I shouldn't have to worry about Nintendo being able to turn off my console.
It's just I understand your concern. It's the idea that they have access to turn off your console.
Yeah, like they can just turn it off at any point. And so basically, like literally, they can just do that. And also, my only other like big concern is, like, I just don't like how they're handling the physical games now. Like, I understand it's a point. It's like, okay, they need to have the games run better, so it has to be more of like how they're doing it now. But also, it sucks because, again, it is just, you are buying a key to the game. You're not buying the game itself. You are buying a license to it that can be revoked at any point.
I've hated that mindset that these major game companies have. Like, it's just a way for them to talk down on us as if like we control your library.
I mean, a lot of things do. Like, that's the biggest thing, is if Steam ever goes down, that is going to be catastrophic.
Oh my gosh, I have too many games on Steam that I put a lot of money in.
Yeah, like, that's a huge thing, is like, it's going to be incredibly catastrophic. But I don't think it's not going to go down for that reason. But no, that's my biggest issue that I like have regarding the Switch 2, is that it's just like, one, I don't like that there is always going to be a chance that Nintendo will just turn your console off if they don't like it. And also that, you know, you're just not physically owning the games. You're just owning a license, and it's just not cool.
So I'll come in and be the little the bastion of positivity here. I'm very excited for Switch 2. Now, okay, I don't say that because I think
Day one Nintendo Glazer over here.
No, literally, dude. Okay, here's my thing about Switch 2. I think there are a lot of very valid and very genuine concerns out there. Like Colin said, the ability to brick your console at any given point, even if it is, well, I'm never going to mod my console, it's still the idea that, yes, they can come in at any point and they have the ability to brick your console, right? Like, if you buy it, you shouldn't be able to do that, even if it's like I'm modifying it. And I listened to someone break down the EULA, and they're like, yeah, well, it's really only if you mod your Switch and then you try to get on the servers, then they'll brick it because they want to protect the people who don't mod it. And I get that, but again, it's the principle of it, right? Or the game key cards. I think that's a very valid concern because, like, physical media is going away, and that is a problem because if it's all digital, what happens if, the store goes down or we get, you can't go on the Wii shop anymore and you can't use the Wii U and 3DS eShop. Like, digital, yes, it has convenience, but there's also other stuff that needs to be put in place. And I also think, to Melina's point, the price point is a little higher than past Nintendo consoles, especially coming from the Switch that was $300. And I think, stuff's expensive. If you got other stuff you got to pay for, I mean, it is what it is. It's a Switch. Yeah. It's like you don't need it to live. But my issue comes in, and this has been a really big issue, is people just don't understand what they're talking about. I'm not saying anyone here is doing that, but like generally speaking, there are people who are like, well, the Switch is $450. Okay. Well, they're making, I think it came out this week, their manufacturer price is like $338. And then after you factor in shipping and tariffs and taxes, like they're closer to, $400. So they're not really making that much of a profit off of it. Or the game key cards where people are like, well, every game's going to be on a game key card and it's digital and you can't own it anymore. And it's like, okay, game key cards are not ideal, right? Nobody really wants these, but at the same time, the game key cards function the exact same way that like PlayStation and Xbox discs have for the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. So if you're you can be upset about it, but also direct that anger at Xbox and PlayStation, who have been doing this for the foreseeable past. This is not a new thing. If anything, the key cards are an improvement on the code in a box that we had with Switch, where it's like, hey, buy this game and you get a download code and that's it. At least with the game key cards, if you buy a game and you don't like it, you have the ability to resell it because it is a physical cartridge that you have to have inserted. So it works the same way as like all the PlayStation games where, oh, I didn't like, God of War, right? Like, oh man, what a boo game. I can take it back to GameStop and sell it for 2 cents. Like, it's not a digital game that I'm stuck with. And Nintendo came out this week and said that they have no plans to use game key cards for their first-party games at all. Like, it's not for them. It's purely a third-party thing. Now, there's something to say for the fact that they're only offering 64-gigabyte cartridges or game key cards. They're like either 64 gig or die, and no in between. So games like Sonic X Shadow Generations that are nowhere near 64 gigs are like, okay, fine, we'll use a game key card because we don't like paying for a lot of wasted space here. Yeah. So I think there are a lot of valid criticisms to be had and things to like be thrown at Nintendo as they move into this new generation. I'm still overall really excited, and just my takeaway is if you're going like there's fair criticism be labeled, but just make sure you're criticizing accurately and not saying like, oh, well, this game is $90. Nope, there's no $90 games. Mario Kart is $80. That's the cap. They've already said not every game is going to be $80. This is bog standard stuff, guys. Like, it is what it is. So I'm not opposed to criticizing Nintendo as much as I glaze them and like, yeah, I'll be there with Switch 2 day one playing Mario Kart because I got my pre-order in and I got the Pro Controller and like I did all this stuff. But also, criticism's fair when it's fair. So that's where I'm at with Switch 2. I don't really know if there's anything Nintendo. Well, no, I don't want to jinx it, but I don't know if there's anything Nintendo could do that would make me be like, ooh.
Don't say that because don't say that because
I thought the same. Be like, we're killing.
Don't say that because I thought the same thing, and when I saw that, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it's
brother. Ooh.
Brother, ooh. They crossed my line.
Melina's
I was like,
case, on price is like totally understandable because like things are just getting more expensive, and like we're at a point in our lives where like we need to get our finances under control.
Yeah, like we're all young adults trying to move out, live on our own. Like, you know, if I wasn't
get
living at
married.
home, guys, being able to save money, I would
And
not be getting Switch
some-
2 day one. Like, let's be
And
100% honest.
I don't know how many of us do, but like for me, I live in a very expensive state to live in, and it is almost impossible to like for someone my age and to like go out and live on their own, even for like a cheap 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. So I get that. I think the closest thing that like came to crossing my line was the EULA. But even then, like, it doesn't bother me personally because I've signed the same EULA to use the PlayStation and Xbox that's sitting on my thing right now. Like, and I already accepted it to use it for my Switch now. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's stupid. But also, this concept is in every EULA for every electronic device that we own, and we're not going to stop using phones. We're not going to stop playing games on Xbox. Like, if it gets out of control and they just start bricking people's systems at random, then yeah, that's a problem. But as of right now, I'm like, it's whatever. It is what it is. It's Nintendo being Nintendo, and that was my thing. Is like I was a little upset that everyone got so like up in arms about this week. Of all the PlayStation fans who are like, oh, look at Nintendo doing bad stuff. And I'm like, bro, you literally, the console you play on all the time has the exact same thing in their terms of service. Like,
Something
it's just people hating Nintendo. 'cause
Something
it's
I
Nintendo.
also want to point out with the Switch 2, and I find it hilarious because it shows that people don't know why Nintendo is the only company that actually has exclusives still. So a lot of people are talking about how PlayStation and Xbox all have games like that are playable either on their dedicated console or PC. And they're like, oh, we should be able to play games whenever on whatever system we want, and exclusives shouldn't exist. And I'm like, exclusives are the reason we have video games here in the first place.
Yeah, because even if you just play on PC, well, then it's exclusive to PC. Like, I'm not gonna lie, chronically online PC gamers have to be some of the most obnoxious people.
I'm one of them.
Like, I honestly, well, no, like, but you're not like that obnoxious.
That obnoxious. So
Like-
I am obnoxious.
You're normal. You're
normal
a
obnoxious.
normal PC gamer. I'm talking about the people who are like,
not that you're one of the good ones.
I'm gonna play Tears of the Kingdom on my PC because piracy is okay. I'm like, no.
The only Nintendo
No.
the only
No.
the only
We're
Nintendo
not-
games I emulate are Pokemon ROM hacks because they're not available literally anywhere else.
I could do a whole podcast with my thoughts on piracy, but I won't. We'll stop here for now
Yes.
because we are double the time of a normal episode, but that's okay. We had double the people, double the content, double the fun. That being said, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, the listener, for tuning in the entire episode. I know it was a bit of a longer one, but we had some really good discussion talking about Nintendo games, something we don't talk about all the time, and Switch too. That being said, if you enjoyed this episode, you can follow us on all the places, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, I guess, if you really want to, even though I haven't posted anything there in over a year. It is what it is, if you really want to, and, give this episode a 5-star review. This is why Jackson does the outros. I don't know, man. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Hopefully Jackson's back. If not, we'll have a guest, and it'll be great, and I'll have to suffer through another outro.
It killed him! It killed him!
And die. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.